और अहले हकम के सर पर जब बिजली कड़कड़ कड़केगी।
Known as the land of the hospitable, admired for its breathtaking landscapes and mouth-watering cuisine, Pakistan is no stranger to the world. Yet often, when it is brought up into conversation, it is never for its rich popular culture nor its people's talents. Tired of its title being tied to our humility towards our peers, it is time for us to take a sip of Pakistan's enriched arts and culture, for the tea of creativity never cools in Pakistan.
मिस्टर भुट्टो की हुकूमत खत्म हो चुकी है। सारे मुल्क में मार्शल नाफिज कर दिया गया है।
The sixth president of Pakistan, a military dictator known for leading Pakistan down a dark path, Muhammad Zia-ul-Haq ruled from 1978 to 1988, straying from democracy and implementing martial law to rule by decree. By overthrowing Zulfikar Ali Bhutto and sentencing him to death on the charges of treason, Zia-ul-Haq had stripped the nation of its very foundation, freedom. Along with this came the Islamization of Pakistan, creating laws against those who practiced any other faith than Islam. One of the many policies he implemented was the Motion Pictures Ordinance in 1979, censoring any films that contradicted his personal views. The Blood of Hussein, a film released in 1980, depicted a Pakistani boy liberating the poor and the oppressed from a military government, which Zia-ul-Haq banned from ever being released in the country. Pakistan was in its key years of development, especially for its cinema. Pakistan's Bollywood equivalent had its golden years from the 1960s, yet with Zia's rule, Pakistan had been left on its own.
But the regime also reportedly ensured that female public figures did not wear the sari and covered their body and hair.
Another art form he censored was poetry. Anything reflecting anti-fascism or liberation was banned, such as the works of poet Faiz Ahmed Faiz. As the direct defiance of this ban, Pakistani singer Iqbal Bano sang Hum Dekhenge, a poem of resistance by Faiz, establishing herself as an iconic symbol of Pakistan's resilience. Before the dictator's rule, Pakistan was a country of saturated hues and free-thinking individuals. Liberation was the backbone of Pakistan, and with this came the freedom of creativity, allowing the nation's minds to embrace individualism and range. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, founder of Pakistan, believed in a secular land where all citizens, no matter their religion nor ethnicity, would have equal rights and freedom.
But this does not mean that they are not Muslims or practicing Muslims. You can believe in secularism while maintaining your faith.
With this migration came an influx of racism, violent attacks and riots, resulting in the death of many South Asians, explored in Pakistani actor Riz Ahmed's documentary, Defiance, Fighting the Far Right. But in these times of ugliness and hate, one of the remnants of hope laid in the West's embrace of South Asian art, specifically music. A powerhouse in his craft, described as having a voice of velvet fire by Jeff Buckley himself, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was the prime example of music transcending all barriers, ethnicity, religion, language. With Peter Gabriel's record label, Real World Records, coming into fruition in 1981, focusing on world music bouncing from the success of the WOMAD festivals, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan was a key musician in their catalogue.
And that was the first time that Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan had performed in front of primarily a white English audience. That performance was as unexpected to Nusrat as it was to the audience, because Nusrat was completely blown away by the reaction to this audience. They didn't understand the language, but they responded to the performance and Nusrat's ability to communicate.
Thanks to Real World Records amplifying Pakistani voices in the world of the arts, it seemed as though the conversation around the country was changing for the better, until September 11, 2001. With the incident of 9/11 came an incorrect and distorted perspective on Pakistan and its people. It was no longer a country possessing rich arts and culture, it was a country of threat. Instead of the usual rhetoric around the country being centered around terrorism or politics, the spotlight must be shone on the artists today keeping Pakistan's arts and culture alive. Mobeen Ansari chooses to create art about Pakistan in Pakistan, remaining on the soil of his motherland while simultaneously sharing diverse stories from Pakistan around the world through his filmography and photography.
There's always something that keeps me here because it is so full of life here. It makes you feel alive despite all the challenges. It gives you a sense of purpose. It gives you a sense of wanting to take action. It just teaches you resilience.
Sana Ilahi is a Pakistani-American musical artist, fusing influences of traditional South Asian classical music with Western sounds.
In Pakistan, the training does not happen in an institution. Yeah. So you almost feel like, for a second, this music may not be as legitimate as something that you may have gained through an institution. But when you hear this music, it gives you, it brings you a whole different feeling and brings you in a realm that's different.
The Motion Pictures Ordinance from 1979 is still in action, exemplified through the censorship of Cannes Jury Prize winner of 2022, Joyland. With the political state of the country being held in limbo and the imprisonment of Imran Khan, with no sign of him nor any communication after his arrest, there is a deep sense of public unrest in the country. Crimes against women are at an all-time high and spaces for the arts are rare to come by. Still, there are a few keeping that welcoming culture alive, awaiting their turn for recognition and celebration. Pakistan deserves to be known for its contributions to the arts and culture of the West, whilst also being celebrated. The tea of creativity never cools in Pakistan, and it's time we take a sip of what the country can offer us.